Today we're going to go behind the scenes on how we lit this specific interview set. So one of the biggest reasons that I even decided to put this together is, well, for one, practice makes perfect. You want to always be sharpening your skills and sharpening your craft. As a DP, as a production company owner, I am always looking to get the extra edge, learn my gear more, how many different ways can I use it. No matter how many times you've done this, no matter how good you are, no matter how many feature films, no matter how many commercials you've done, every time you set up something, every time you go and you kind of bring all of your equipment, all of your gear together and just kind of unload and just test and try a bunch of different things, you always walk away with learning something and a new way of doing something that is just an extra tool in your tool belt and you're able to use out in the real world on set. The first thing that I knew that I wanted to do with a space such as this, now this is my living room, so I kind of know this space pretty well. I know where the sun comes in, I know what time of day the sun's gonna be there, where it's gonna be, how long it's gonna be there. I like my key light being on the same side as the natural light, wherever the most light is coming in. And I like to motivate that light by what you see behind me is a window. So that makes more sense for light to come this way. So we kind of start with that. What I'm using for my key light is a Forza 500. We've got a small rig, 30-inch softbox attached to it, pushing that nice soft diffused light, and it's spreading it into a 6x5 sheet of diffusion. And it's able to spread that light so much more evenly across my face and not giving me harsh shadows. Because it's a little bit further away, you kind of lose your eye light. So what I did was I brought in an aperture B7 over here, and that's just on a little bit, just enough to where, one, it's actually creating a little bit more of a gradient here because I get a little bit of fill, but also it's creating an eye light that helps put the life back in your eyes. And then we've got a little bit of a bounce card over here that we've got some bounce for fill. So basically whatever's coming on the key light is bouncing on there, and that's gonna fill in a little bit of the shadows on my face here. I knew I wanted to use a wide frame, and specifically kind of living in the realm of 24 to 28 millimeters. The A camera that you see right now, this is a 16 to 35 GM2, and so that right now is living in about 28 millimeters, I believe. It could be a 24 now. I can't remember, I know I switched it up. But having a lens like that that's wider, you have to figure out where are you gonna bring your lights in and how far away are they gonna be? They can't be so close. We've got a C-stand that is bagged down with a boom pole that has got a Forza 60B with a softbox on it. And a quick pro tip, if you run out of space to where you don't want to put another C-stand next to another C-stand, I use a Cardellini clamp to attach to my C-stand and threw it on the opposite end so I could project light back here on this wall against the coffee counter, and that's raking a little bit of light across there just to break it up. And so I knew I wanted to throw the projector on that, but I just couldn't find a way to mount another C-stand to it, so I used a Cardellini clamp, connected to our C-stand, and I was able to boom it out a little bit. So one, we didn't have to use another C-stand, but two, it also acted as a counterbalance to the 60B that's boomed overhead. And so I didn't have to use extra bags or anything like that to kind of like counterbalance that. So that was really nice, and that's a super useful way to use a Cardellini clamp. One of the biggest things that I knew that I wanted to use was my Aperture 1200X. I've used it on so many different sets in so many different ways. For this one in particular, I really wanted a nice beam of golden light coming through that window behind me and just streaking nice warm light across the background. Not only is it gonna create contrast, but it's also gonna hit places in the background that I wanted to create those nice little bits of highlights and a little bit of salt and pepper just with one light. And also it's IP65 rated, so it's gonna be able to handle all of the weather and all of the issues and anything, even if it rains, if it downpours, it's gonna be fine. And I have full confidence in knowing that it's gonna be good to go out there. And also with the Sidus link, I can control that light. I can dim it, I can brighten it, I can change the color, I can really fine tune that just from my phone so I don't have to keep walking outside. And then also you can see that going up the stairs, we have a Forza 500 with a projector mount on there. And that's a 45-degree projector with a gobo. And something that I really love doing is adding texture to a wall. It fills in spaces very nicely where it wouldn't be super interesting. So when you have that slash of light and you have that texture, it just really adds such a really cool element to your frame. Behind my left shoulder, you've got this practical light here that I've placed. And then also we've got one that goes in the far back corner, which is our little Christmas tree that has has some lights and little twinkle lights. I just love throwing stuff like that in the far background just to create a little bit of extra pop and interest, and typically I like to throw it in places that are dark and just to kind of brighten them up a little bit. And then of course when we throw that haze, you can see that the light's beaming everywhere and it softens up the image a little bit and also raises the ambience, and that's something really cool about haze. Your shadows are going to be lifted and your brights are going to be nice and soft, you're going to be blooming. And so especially the shafts of light, I know that projector, that 500 that's shooting down the staircase, is going to throw beams of light, and that's what we have in that frame. And then you can also see that the 1200 that it's raking across, that is also nice and soft, and you get those kind of shafts of light coming in, and it looks super cinematic, it looks super high quality, it looks a lot more like a movie. And that's kind of the look that I was going for. I wanted it to look super high budget, I wanted it to look like a commercial or a movie, and that's kind of the vibe and the feel that I wanted to. But I also wanted to be a kind of an in-between of dark and moody, but also bright and airy. So you've got the pops of color. I kind of wanted it to feel a little bit more like very like similar to Bridgerton, except maybe not quite as high key. I wanted to bring a little bit of grunge, a little bit of darkness to it, but also with a little bit of happiness in the colors, and just kind of really play with that. Yeah, I feel like that's pretty much it for this setup. I can't really think of anything else. I mean, I know there's a few things that I could have done, or there's always something else that you can do. That's the cool thing about creating a set, and that's so the coolest part about cinematography, that there's always another level, there's always something else that you can do. After every single project, after every single production that we do, I take my team and we just sit there and talk about what could we have done better, what could we have done faster, how could we have made this go smoother, or maybe we missed a couple of things where I wish I could have had time to do this, or man, if I had to tweak the light a little bit here, if I had to brighten it up or darken it, just there's so many things that you can always get better at and always do. So I think that's the never-ending fun of cinematography and video production, is that there's always something, there's always another level, there's always something else that you can get better with. And so I think that's the cool part about it, is it's a never-ending game, and I love it. And yeah, I think that'll do it. And if you have any questions, leave them in the comment, and I'm looking forward to doing more videos like this, more breakdowns, and putting out more content in the future. So hope you guys enjoyed.